Hi guys, it's Meg. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. So today what I want to share with you is my veggie soup. I'm really excited to share this with you guys because I honestly eat this all the time, especially now that fall's coming up and going into winter. This is definitely a staple for me. I make a big batch of it in a big pot. You guys can see back there. Just the biggest pot that I have, and I basically just fill the entire pot with soup, and I add as many veggies as I have on hand. So it just depends what's really great in season for you or what you can get your hands on. I'm going to share with you what I'm using right now and give you a couple ideas of what other types of veggies you could add to this soup. So what I love about this is it's great for lunches and it's great for dinners. If you take your lunch to work, you could easily put this in a Tupperware container and heat it up and have like a piece of grilled chicken or like a sandwich or a wrap or something on the side. Or for me, I just have a bigger bowl of soup and this is what I would normally eat for lunch. I find it's really filling, it's very nutritionally dense, and you can customize it to your favorite veggies. So let me get started. I'm going to show you what we have going on. I'm going to move the camera and show you all the ingredients, and then we'll get started actually making it. Okay guys, so the main things of this soup are obviously going to be the veggies. So right here what I have is a full 2 cups, 1 cup of frozen green beans and 1 cup of frozen carrots. Now, I've never actually added the green beans in today. I know they're going to taste good in there. I love green beans in veggie soups. These were frozen, so I have these in my freezer and just used a little bit. If I feel like I want more or less, you can adjust that depending on your taste. I have 1 full chopped up medium white onion. You could do no onion. My husband hates onion, so if I make this and I know he's going to eat it, I just don't put in the onion, or I put in probably half of an onion. I also love using red onion, but the white onions looked really good in the store, so that's just 1 full medium cut up white onion. And here are some of our spices. We have a little bit of celery salt. Also, that's kind of optional. I know, like, my grandma makes this soup too, and she doesn't like celery salt, so she doesn't use that. I like the taste of it. I think it gives it a little something extra because I actually hate celery, so I don't put celery in the soup, but you could also do that if you love celery in veggie soups. I have ground black pepper, a little bit of red pepper flakes, and then just some coarse ground white sea salt. So right here I have 1 full can of diced tomatoes. I'll add that entire thing plus the liquid in. And then over here I have 1 can of white beans and 1 can of kidney beans. I thoroughly rinse them and just mix them together in this bowl. I will add these in, and I love beans in soup. I just think it's so yummy. It's really filling and a lot of great fiber and nutrition in those. Next, a big item in the soup is going to be butternut squash. I've shared these pre-cut containers before. I know Green Giant also makes pre-cut and peeled butternut squash, so I think it's much easier and definitely worth it. I just always seem to like cut my finger if I try and chop one up. So I have a container of this, and I'm going to eyeball it. Maybe 2/3 of the container I will use in the soup. Then one of the best parts of the soup is just a bag of collard greens. When we get our farm box, I will get these fresh from our local farmer, but we actually don't have any right now. So 2 other things that I think make the soup is just a little bit of minced garlic. I pretty much cook with that all the time. And then this, I want to share with you guys the exact brand because this is what I always use to make the vegetable base. I don't use chicken broth or anything like that. You totally could if you eat chicken, or if you want to add chicken to this, you definitely could. But I just use the Better Than Bouillon vegetable paste, and you just mix 1 teaspoon for 8 ounces of water. So I think this is amazing, really flavorful. Okay guys, so those are all the ingredients that we're going to be using. I'm going to move the camera over to the stove. The lighting might be a little dark, so that's why I wanted to share with you everything over here. First, what we're going to do is I have a little bit of olive oil in my pan. We're going to add in the spices, the onion, and the garlic, and we're just going to saute that for a couple minutes. Then we're going to saute the butternut squash, and then it's just piling everything in and letting it simmer till basically everything is nice and tender. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just sauteing the onion in a little bit of olive oil, not a lot, and then I will let this cook down for a little bit, and then I'm going to add in my spices and my garlic. Okay, so we just added in the spices, the garlic, and I'm going to mix this around and add the butternut squash because I want to saute the squash a little bit before I add the rest of the liquid. In the squash, and I'm just going to mix that around and let that saute for a little bit. The diced tomatoes. I'm gonna mix that around, and then I will start to add the vegetable base. Okay guys, so this looks kind of gross, but I just dissolved 3 tablespoons of that veggie base into 2 cups of water, and I will just continue to add water as I need it, just to really fill the pot. You can kind of taste it to see how the taste is. You might want more or less of the veggie paste, depending on how, you know, concentrated you want it to taste. So I'm just going to add this into the mixture. I'm just going to continue adding water till I get to about here. I want to say it's about 8 cups of water total, and you know, it just depends on how big your pot is. Okay guys, so this was 10 cups of water and then the veggie paste, or you could just use 10 cups total of your favorite already mixed vegetable stock. I'm going to let this come to a boil so that I can kind of slightly boil my collard greens a little bit, and then we will turn it down to a simmer and just let it cook for even an hour if you keep it on low. And just until that butternut squash is to the consistency that you like. If you like it soft, wait till it cooks down. So that's really all you're waiting for is the butternut squash, or if you added zucchini or anything like that to this, you just want that to be nice and tender so it's not, you know, like hard. Okay guys, so this is starting to kind of bubble up a little bit. I'm going to start to add in the collard greens, and then the last stuff I'll add is the beans and the frozen veggies, because they won't need that much time at all to kind of heat up. So let's go ahead and add in the collard greens. Now I like a lot of these, so I'm probably going to add the whole bag of collard greens. I just love them in this soup. I just think it makes it so hearty, really delicious. It already smells so good. The broth tastes delicious. Definitely taste it. You can add a little bit more pepper, salt, whatever to your taste. And now we're just going to basically let this cook down, and then I will add in the other ingredients and let it simmer. Okay, so that's it. We just added the beans, the green beans, and the corn. So now you guys can tell the soup is like really dense, but I eat this for lunch or dinner. You could definitely cut down to just 1 can of beans, or maybe do half of the veggies. Obviously, this is like a ton of vegetables, and I'm pretty used to eating a lot of veggies, so I really like it, and it doesn't bother me. But if you're not a veggie person, I would maybe just do like 1 can of beans, pick maybe just the corn or the green beans, or just skip the green beans. It's just up to you. You can kind of make it to whatever you want it to taste like. And I love that it's totally customizable, and you can kind of make it a little bit different every time. So you guys can see that pretty much fills the pot all the way to the top. I'm going to lower my stove to simmer, and I'm just going to leave this on and let everything cook down with the lid on. Okay, you guys, so I just put the lid on the pot, lowered it to simmer, and it's about 320-ish right now. So I'm just going to let that cook down and simmer for at least an hour, I would say, on low, and then it'll be ready just in time for dinner. It'll still be really hot even if you turn the stove off. So like I said, this is great to portion out for lunches, or even just use as a side for dinner, and it freezes really nicely too. So if you make a huge batch like this, and since it's going to be just me eating it and my daughter is going to have a little bit, definitely like don't forget to put it in portion size containers in the freezer. That way you can have like go-to lunches and dinner options that are pre-portioned out, so you don't have to re-thaw out like a huge chunk of it. So I just use the little Ziploc like 1.5 cup or 1 cup twist containers, and they work really great to portion out lunches. So I will show it to you when I eat it, but that's it for the recipe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!